Hey guys, okay, wanting to keep this short and sweet, but also a lot to say and share right now too. Starting with the fact, calling attention to the fact that I did not post my weekly reading last week. The reason for that was I had a lot of my own lessons and energetic healing to do, which I want to tie into this message because I think there's a lot that we're all trying to navigate right now. And hopefully, some of these very important lessons and messages that I've had to go through and I've received this week will, in translation, help you to navigate what you might be dealing with as well. So part of it, I mean, the first thing was this call to step into a place of rest and reflection. I call it the void, right? Which is this space of kind of like a no man's land, not really knowing which way to go forward, not sure about the way you've been doing things, right? It's like looking for answers, but not really being able to get any clear direction. And it's intentional, which is also important to remember, right? That void space is just as important as any other process in your journey. And I often find that void space comes in when we've been putting a lot of time and energy into something, and the universe basically goes, we're going to put a pin in this for the time being so that you can rest, you can reflect, and we can allow things to get caught up to speed on this end. And it can feel daunting, right? Because you've been, for example, I removed myself for a year from my business page. And even though it was always still kind of there in the background, I wasn't very active on it. And then I made this decision to come back into it. And for a month, I was posting every week. I was posting throughout the week, and I was super proud of myself, super determined to keep it going. And then last week, it was just like the message wasn't feeling right. Then I was having issues uploading the video, and then YouTube just was like, nope, altogether. And I realized, okay, stop being stubborn and keep forcing this, and just acknowledge the fact that the universe is telling you to just stop right now. And I think this is a really hard place for us to be a lot of the time, because especially when you are passionate about something and you want to see something grow that you've been putting time and energy into, it can feel like not taking consistent action towards it, everything's going to come crashing and crumbling down, right? And one of the most important things that I realized this week was, first of all, I was depleted. I had a lot going on with my day job, and then I was trying to do my own stuff and have my social life and doing all these things. I was totally just like out, right? I didn't have anything else to give. And what is the point of having this page that is intended to be here to empower you if I myself am not in my own authentic power? Right? It totally misses the point. So I was pushed to be in this place of no man's land. Just rest, stop looking for the answers, just accept the situation as it currently is. And the best thing about it was that not only did it allow me this moment where I could assess and reflect and evaluate, it allowed me to get caught up on rest. It allowed me to tap back into myself and my spiritual practice and my daily routines. But I also had this realization that I can walk away and put myself first without the fear of everything I've built coming crashing and crumbling down, right? Like, again, my business, I removed myself for over a year and came back with this incredible realization that I had this foundation that I built over a year ago, and it was still there. I remember starting to post again, and people were saying, it's so nice to see you back. And I was just completely overjoyed that I was just like, I thought I would have been long gone forgotten, right? But people remembered. And I realized that it was okay for me this week to take that time out if I needed to refuel myself so that I can be my most authentic self, and I can serve my highest good, and in exchange, hopefully help you. And I can do that without fear of everything washing away in the need to do that, right? So whatever you might be feeling, if you're kind of in this no man's land of not knowing which way to go, just embrace it. Just accept it for what it is, because it's intentional. I know it can feel unintentional because you're kind of like, but I've been going, why is it not going? You know, but this is like, your manifestations can only have so much of your time and energy, right? It's like, if you plant a seed, you're not going to keep digging it up every day to grow, see if it's grown roots, right? You don't know if something is going to break through until it finally comes through the surface, right? Or again, me and my plant metaphors. Also, like, if you have a plant, you don't want to overwater it either, because giving it too much of something could kill it, right? So there's this fine balance that needs to happen, and that void space happens so that you can kind of loosen your grip on whatever it is that you've been putting a lot of time and energy into, so that it can now grow on its own. It can do its own thing, so that the universe can step in and be like, all right, now we're ready to spread those roots, right? Right now there's a big focus on, again, this healing energy, this time out, because when we're in that darkness, in that void space, that's when clarity comes through, right? It's like trying to take in all this information when you're so overstimulated, you're going to miss things. So in the void, you're kind of, it's like crickets, right? Dead silence, so that you can have these little blips of, oh, what is that over there, right? That's when things start to come through. That's when the messages that you need to hear actually come through, because if you're so focused on putting time and energy into something and doing the same thing over and over and over again, you're not even going to see or hear of something new, something, a better way of doing something, or a different way of approaching something is going to come in for you, right? Or is coming in for you. You're being offered this moment of enlightenment in the darkness. I know that darkness can feel scary, but please trust me when I say that it is an incredibly important and necessary part of your journey. You need to trust that the seeds of your intentions are going to grow no matter what, right? And especially if you didn't cut corners and you've been very passionate and determined to make a relationship work, to get a creative project off the ground, if it's feeling that little bit of stagnant and then all of a sudden you're in this place of darkness, just embrace it. Take a step back, like literally loosen the grip and go, okay, the universe and everything around me right now is telling me to just stop. I know it can feel backwards, but I'm telling you, I can't emphasize this enough, actually so vitally important, because it's going to allow for the clarity to come through. I have the card Milk and Honey here too, which I love because it talks about doing things out of authenticity, right? When we have that time out and we stop putting our time and energy into something else and put that time and energy back into ourselves, we tap it back into ourselves. We replenish ourselves so that we can be our most authentic self. And when we are authentic to ourselves and to others, that's when the whole universe conspires to bring everything in, right? Because you're in this place of knowing that you don't want or need anything necessarily, because you have everything you need, right? Every where you are and what you are being given right now is exactly what you need. And it's such a relief and a blessing if you can look at the universe in that way, or look at your life in that way in general, that you have absolutely everything you need in every single moment of your life. So you don't need to be searching for things. You can just embrace wherever you are at, especially if that means like a time out for you, because that is the universe bringing everything else in together for you. All right. I think I'm done my little tangent. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Always, please be sure to like, share, and follow/subscribe. It helps my page out. It hopefully helps you out too. And I will see you soon. Bye.